So now we're going to move to our art directive for today. So before we get into it, I'm just going to list off the materials that you'll need to do this. So basically all we're going to need today is a piece of paper. It could be printer paper. I have sketch paper because it's a bit thicker, so that's what I'm using today. Yes, and then also what you'll need is just a pair of scissors because we're just going to use half the piece of paper. I'm also going to use pencil, crayons, and markers, which most people will have at home. And yeah, if you have a pencil or pen, you can also use that as well, you know, just in case for journaling and for writing as well. So I'm going to be using mostly just, you know, simple materials like that for each video. Just because I know there's a lot of limitations in terms of, you know, getting extra supplies and things like that, and most people are not going to have artist grade materials just lying at home. So yeah, you'll notice that I'm going to be using a lot of similar materials because I want to make this accessible for everyone. So what we're going to be doing today is similar to what we were doing with the intention setting in the mindfulness. We're going to be creating an intention setting card basically that we'll be able to refer throughout the week. So yeah, this process as well is probably going to take maybe about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on, of course, just how much detail and time that you choose to put into it. I mean, as an art therapist, that's always a difficult thing to determine the duration of exercises, because for some people, they just go right into it, and you know, something that you could have expected would take only 20 minutes can take an hour for one person, and then another person, they'll put barely any effort, and you know, it'll only take them 5 to 10 minutes because they just want to, you know, just get it done in a quick manner. But I would strongly recommend just going with what feels comfortable with you in terms of pace. Like, there's no right or wrong amount of time that it takes to do this. But for myself, I'm going to take about, you know, 15 or 20 minutes to do this. So I'm gonna start first just by folding my paper in half. Because yeah, we only really need to use half of this because I was thinking of making it small enough that it's something that you could just, you know, have around and be able to, yeah, just refer to it throughout the week, because basically an intention is just something that, you know, you're putting out for yourself to step into. So now that I have my paper, you know, folded in half, I did that a few times, so then I can just rip it in half easily. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to tape it on here so you guys can see what I'm doing more clearly. Obviously you won't need to do this part because you're doing at home, probably on a table would be easiest. And yeah, you could either, I mean, you could do this with other people or you could do it alone. It's not an art directive that's going to be, you know, getting into deep emotions or anything like that that may make you feel vulnerable. So if you want to do this with other people in your house, by all means, you can do that. So yeah, you can choose the layout of how you would like it. You can either do it lengthwise or this way. Again, it's up to you. It's an important thing to know through all these videos. I'm always going to give you, you know, a way that I'm doing it, but it doesn't mean you can't make adjustments along the way. That's the beautiful part about art therapy. We're not so much involved with, you know, what is it going to look like or whatever. It's more about, yeah, just whatever feels right for you in that moment, giving you the sense of autonomy and control over the process. So what I'm going to do first is basically just do a nice background for my cards, something that gives me a sense of energy and movement, because that's how I see the purpose of the intention, right? It's just about motivating you to, yeah, step into this possibility that would be helpful for you throughout the week, okay? So what colors would be good for me? I think I'm going to do orange, maybe like sunset colors for some reason. That's just what's coming to me right now. So yeah, I'm gonna do orange and pink for my colors. So we're gonna do this now probably for, you know, 1 or 2 minutes, just getting a nice background before we add on to it. And you'll notice I'm not playing any music. It's just because I'm doing this audio or this recording on my computer, so I don't want to compete with that, but feel free. If you're at home, listen to music that makes you feel relaxed or in the mood to create. Make it fun. Color. Maybe just so you guys can see it a little bit better, I'm just going to do a little bit of marker on top of my pencil crayon. You don't have to do this. Again, it's just for the video purpose. I think you'll be able to see it better if I do it in marker. And then I'm actually using a marker that I've pressed on quite hard a lot of the time. I like to keep a hold of those because you never know, they might be useful if you just want to, you know, do stress drawings and really press into it and not ruin your other markers. So we have our background color, and then basically what we're going to do, this is the front side of our card. So basically we're just going to write down, it could be even the intention that you were setting through the meditation from earlier, right? Because we asked what would be your intention for yourself this week. So basically you're just going to write what your intention is for yourself this week. Or it might be, you know, a phrase or a mantra, either that you create yourself or you heard from someone that is inspiring. So for my phrase, I'm just going to write, just try to make today a little bit better than yesterday. That's my mantra. Because I think that applies to everything, not only self-care, about, you know, relationships with other people, you know, doing things for work or other areas of your life. So I like how broad it is and how it can be used in different concepts. So I'm just gonna write that here. So yeah, I would write it down, and then after you've done that, you can also, you know, add embellishments, decorations. So maybe there's like symbols or designs that you kind of want to use on the front of the card as well, just to kind of give it more you know, visual appeal, so you're more likely to refer to it later on in the week. And then, yeah, so then I could just doodle a little bit, I guess. So just do some hearts, you know, remind myself to love myself, not be too hard on myself. I think it's always a really good reminder. I'm not gonna go too crazy or else I'll lose track of what I'm doing here with you guys. Yeah, so we're just gonna add the finishing touches to the front of our card. Of course, again, you're going at your own pace, so if you feel like, oh, Lacey, you're going too fast for me, this is frustrating, just remember you have full control over the video, so you can pause it at any time that you need to, rewind if you need to, you can replay it again at a later time. It's completely okay. I don't want to cause more stress for you. I'm just going to draw some little plant buds just to remind myself it's a process. We're all growing. We're all in this together. Okay. So that's the front of my card. So the back of the card is when we'll become a bit more specific about the intention setting as a practice. So basically, you know, what I would like to do for myself in terms of self-care. Again, intention is something that we're putting out, but it's quite flexible, so there's no expectation that I must do it. That's up to me and my own self-discipline. It's okay if I don't do it. It's just a possibility. That's the difference of intention and expectation. Expectation's about a specific outcome, and if we don't reach it, then we see it as a failure. So intention setting gives us the liberty to not see it as a success or failure.